I'll show you how to replace timing gears, how to do this by our hands, which tools you will need, and all this process from start to finish I'll show you in today's video. You don't want to trust clowns and you want to do this work by our hands. Patrick's Garage. Grab your snack, welcome back. Yes, you hear it's a little bit noisy. Let's confess, it sounds like a tractor. Yes, it works, but you never know how long it can be last. And will be better to check the play of these gears, as we noticed a little bit worn, and we're going to replace them. And don't let them whittle their way out of it. We're not going to put them into a waiting list. And I want to say that this can take more than one day, even if the parts available. I mean, you not need to wait them when you're going to order them. You want to order original, and they have to get you original spare parts. Because if they positioned their spare parts as original, they have to give you original spare parts. There is no question. Yes, we have to remove radiator. First time this is difficult without outlining, and should be a wise approach, especially if you restore your family heirloom. For a lot of guys, their old cars are really valuable objects, you know. And yes, play between gears is a glaring sign that they worn. And you can check this play and compare according your data from your service manual book. You know. Play and noise really glaring signals that they warn. And as I want, repeat will be better to planning ahead, making outlining instead of wing it, because we don't want to farting around and doing nothing. And this video will be helpful. This Volvo timing gears replacement video can be helpful for Volvo Amazon owners, Volvo 140 series owners, and even Volvo 240 series owners of earlier models. And these spare parts overseas, and you want to prepare them in advance. Even grill we want to remove for more convenience and good access to our timing gears. And yes, what you prefer, fiberglass timing gears, maybe aluminum or made out of steel. But they're a little bit noisy, and they differ by price also. 100 smackers for average fiberglass, maybe from storage. That's normal, you can find them online, on eBay. And camshaft gear you can buy separately without crankshaft gear. And now, by the way, we are approaching to nitty-gritty, by the way. Here is the cover of our timing gears, and they created noise in our B20, Volvo B20. So let's open them before you started to resent this boring process, but we want to make it really fascinating process. And if you replace them with original, I'll bet you this noise not going to come back at least long period of time. And by the way, that's great that Volvo B20 uses this timing gears, not this stinky timing belt. And yes, as I mentioned earlier, you can buy separately camshaft gear, but that will be great if this is still crankshaft gear, not worn too much. Otherwise, it'll be really not worth. Health as rebuilding never can be good, especially if we consider engine repair. And I want to confess that I waffled a lot before I decided to order this original kit of timing gears, even with seal. And of course, before this, I scrolled a lot of information. I was always at the bookshops, scoring the bookstores, and I wanted to find information about seals. How should I centralize the seals? This casing. And what bothered me, a comparison between fiber gear versus steel gear, fiber gear versus aluminum gear, and it was need to find this big socket for nut. A special custom-made tool to replacing this camshaft gear you will need. Yes, you can make custom this puller, 3 legs puller, maybe average puller can be suitable with appropriate size. But my special puller, it was created especially for this procedure of removing timing gear, this camshaft gear. It's really convenient, especially with stubborn timing gears, this camshaft gear, and it looks like it's not going to accept defeat anyway. And you're not going to broke thrust plate, this bronze thrust plate of camshaft, Later they made out them of steel. In general, the same procedures for replacing timing gears in average classic car. This thrust plate made out of bronze included into the kit, but it's when it absent, it really infuriates when you have not enough these spare parts which you really need for car repair. It's old trick to put a truss plate inside out, so you can use it again and not replace, if it was not done before. Yes, this gear of crankshaft looks great, and when you decided to rebuild your classic engine, you want to think which truss plate you prefer, bronze, steel. Oil nozzle, very important. It supplies oil between our gears, and we shouldn't be dismissive about this nozzle. Very important lubrication point. We don't have to replace it. We could just get away with cleaning it in gasoline. Truss plate, you can put it backside out. Shish, you can't. It's broken. Bronze, really soft metal. I don't comprehend it why they're using this here. It took Dan bash or something, I don't know. And in addition, interesting thing that timing gear symptoms of B20 never going to say you that this thrust plate broken. So it's a little bit equivocal. I was not aware about thrust plate condition. By the way, not over tightening this nozzle. This is brass and really soft metal. From this small hole goes oil to lubricate our gears. So we're disassembling this and we can infer what was wrong. I mean, you can't guess about thrust plate. And will be better to have whole kit, timing gear, crankshaft gear, and of course seals and this bronze thrust plate. And probably you will done with these timing gears in the evening. Here is original kit for Volvo B20 timing gears. Also here is the gasket for Volvo B30. With all these parts, you will continue your work without delay. What do you prefer, fiber gear versus steel gear, maybe aluminum gear? It's entirely up to you. Maybe you can make your car better than it already is. I don't know, maybe from steel gears you can derive more mileage, more longevity. But yes, this thrust Bronze thrust plate will be wear more faster rather than steel made out of steel plate. With this in mind, you can choose made out of steel. But they noisy, but they used in marine engines steel gears. I mean, camshaft gear. But fiber gears, they always on sale. But for me, original part better. That is, was, and will better. Yes, not over tightening these screws. I'm not going to say what will be better, but what do you really want? I mean, which gears you prefer to choose for your engine. Each gear has its own requirements. Why they're reneging on fiberglass? Different tools we need to install them. I mean, 3-leg spooler maybe require for aluminum 2-leg spooler. So we will in big pickle with removing process and installing with old type tools. We need different tools, and you can vote for that. This is obviously it's your own choice. Fiber gear versus steel gears. I personally prefer spanking brand new Bosch gears, and they better if you prefer to rebuild classic Volvo engine. Idea of steel gears probably derived on belief that steel more reliable than fiber. They made out of fiber because they not so noisy as the steel gears, and they are not going to be abruptly quit. Put into the oil this gear. It should be soaked with oil. Keep in mind that these gears were produced in Western Germany. Yes, you won't insist that Volvo Chinese car. Probably. Just remember, Volvo, ever since Chinese took over, their quality has been going down the toilet. We want to be courteous for these legacy classic cars were produced with fiber gears. Maybe it's dreary when engine too quiet, so they want to install this noisy made out of steel gears. But when engine noisy, it's really hard to designate timing gear systems in Volvo B20 engines. Yes, these tightening moments, they were required for new original camshaft. Who knows which camshaft installed here? I'm afraid to over-tightening this now. Maybe they think that this core need to install these fiber gears. So fixation compound with 80 Newton meters tightening thread lock. Because even if you know this car inside out, you never know about qualities, about spare parts which were installed, about their quality. Not in any degree deflates our reliability. It's normally not to rush without hectic. You want to enjoy this process. We can be enamored 100% only with high quality spare parts. Maybe they were produced in olden days. Thing is that guys think that from marine engines these gears are more reliable. Oh yeah, good luck on that one. They will get suckered into it. They always have been. Not secret for anybody that we've got a beef with new made spare parts. Or maybe your gear's not too shabby for current condition. And nowadays, new parts can be more worse. Driving in our society is not for cowards. We surrounded by scumbags, always remember. And they too eager to earn money at all costs. As you can guess, now our mundane job comes to finish. Our process not still still far from over. You see, I'm coating this inside lip with oil. A little bit of sealant. It will be just for peace of mind, I think. And we'll press it inside into its place. This seal should be aligned with surface. Yes, in olden days we used felt rings. Not require absolutely centralizing this seal. And let's install our pulley. Why they use metric bolt? Because this is the latest type of engine. In latest engines they installed a metric size crankshaft. And of course 70 Newton meters as it requires for this metric size bolt. Of course, we want to pour coolant into our cooling system and tighten this fan belt correctly. When it's filled with coolant, we can start our engine. I'll catch you in the next one on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. Thanks for your support.
Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Click the subscribe button and notifications bell, so that way you can be notified as soon as I upload new videos about car repairing.